What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
Podcast.
Oh.
Period. All right, y'all. So welcome back to another episode of OD Podcast. It's your girl, Alicia Bug.
And it's Draco the Queen.
Okay.
What's popping?
Let's kick this thing off with a Black Business of the Week. I want to shout out this bakery that is in my area that I live in. So first things first, I was riding down the street and it was this sign. These folks had signs, like, you know, like the election signs. It was like cookies, arrow to the right, cookies. And it was like nonstop signs. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm
and
about to try
of course, you would get lured in by that.
Hello. But even though I love ice cream, but I knew it was Black owned because the picture on it was Black. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try that. I'm going to put it on my list. So anyway, I finally go inside to check out this place. It's called My Granny's Cakes. It's off of Cumberland Parkway. And it's a Black owned bakery, and it's inspired by the owner's grandmother's recipes. And so I have my two go-to bakeries. I go to Cammy Cakes for my cupcakes and my ice cream, and I go to Pizza Cake for my sliced cake. Now this place in particular they do have sliced cake, and they have sweet potato pies, they have banana pudding, and they have cookies. Now I liked everything. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love the cookies, but I did like the sliced cake. It was just the icing was really sweet. I'm not saying this to be like bashful, but I do want to share an honest opinion on my experience on going there. But when I tell you they 7-Up cake, when I tell you this 7-Up cake, I
don't think I've ever had 7-Up cake before.
Oh my God.
So with 7-Up cake, what makes it 7-Up cake? Do they use actual 7-Up to make it?
Yeah, 7-Up is in the recipe. And it's okay. Let me tell you something. It's basically a pound cake, but it's different. Like, it's not as hard as pound cake, and it has that lime kick in it. And that's what the 7-Up
from the soda.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah, so there's the first time I ever had 7-Up cake was at Farm Burger in Dunwoody, and the only reason why they had it is because they have an ice cream shop inside the restaurant that has its own like bakery and ice cream. And after that, I was like, hold on.
Wait, which Farm Burger you talking about? I went to two of them.
Dunwoody. That's what I'm saying. This particular location
in that one place. Oh, you right.
Yeah,
I've been there before. The one, it's like in the plaza, like by Publix and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been there before. Yeah,
yep.
You're right.
And that 7-Up cake was so good. And I used to literally go there to get. This is when they used to carry Impossible Burgers. Now they don't switch to Beyond Burgers. They lost a customer, honey. But I used to go in there just to get a 7-Up cake. But then when I found out this place down the street from me had 7-Up cake, and I went and tried it. They have some with the frosting, without the frosting. The frosting is really good, but it can be a bit sweet. And I don't have no problem with how sweet their frosting is. I just can't handle a lot of super sweet stuff unless it's ice cream. And even with my ice cream, I can't have the Snickers overload pumpkin pie. I can't do that. It's too much. Yeah. But I really want to shout out My Granny's Cakes on Instagram. That's literally the name, My Granny's Cakes. They are at 2355 Cumberland Parkway, Suite 110, right next to Bella Wax Center, Oi Breakfast Club. And I think there's a not McCrae's Tavern. That's Marlowe's Tavern, I think, is what's also in the plaza. But it's actually really good. It is homemade, even looks homemade. Like, it has that, ooh, my mama just baked look. Like, I love that. And I met the owner, and I tried basically everything they have. Next time I get a sliced cake, I'm gonna get ice cream with it, because that might help me fizzle down because I can't, sometimes when I get sliced cake, I just scrape the icing off. It just be too much sugar. But the cake is really good, but their cake is so moist that I want ice cream with it. It's like one of those perfect scenarios. So anyway, check them out, y'all. They are really good. It's Black owned, Black operated, and they're pretty new. They ain't been there but a couple of months. So I want them to stick around because they give a good solution for the 7-Up cakes. Listen, I don't put so many people on to that place. They be tagging me when they go.
Okay. I definitely feel you on that super sweet stuff. So when it comes to juice, I personally don't like juice because I can't handle how sweet it is.
Yeah.
Like, I was a person that really, really loved sweet tea at one point. And I only got sweet tea from McDonald's and Chick-fil-A. I can't even drink it no more.
You gotta add water sometimes or let the ice melt. That's what I do with my
I have to literally pour half of it out and pour a whole bottle of water in there.
Yeah, I just split mine into cups. So my favorite thing from Wendy's is their strawberry lemonade. I have to do the same thing with theirs because it's really good, but I don't know about half, but I do pour a good chunk of it into some water.
I love watered down drinks. Like, even Powerade is too much for me sometimes.
Okay, now hold on.
I'm telling you,
All right,
that's
it's
why
color water.
I stick to water. Like I buy natural juice. Like if I buy juice for my smoothies and I use natural juice, like 100% juice. And sometimes that shit is too sweet.
Well, you should try coconut water in your smoothies.
I've been meaning to do that,
Yeah,
but
it's
every time
good.
I grab coconut water from the store to drink it on its own,
It's nasty. Yeah, you can't drink. To me, don't drink it by itself. But if you drink it, if you put in your smoothie, like one thing I learned working at Starbucks, when people order like certain drinks with non-fat milk, whole milk, blah blah blah, a lot of times it don't taste different because you have those other flavors that are kind of overpowering. But it'll still add some sweetness to it and it'll add that liquid that you're looking for.
yeah. I definitely been drinking a lot of coconut water lately just because I'm adding more hydration to my body. And I heard that that's something really good to drink if you want to add hydration and especially if you have a few drinks, you should drink coconut water at the end of the night. Make sure you don't wake up with a hangover. I've been drinking a lot of beet juice and stuff, but I've been eating unhealthy, very, very, very unhealthy. But I've been making sure that I get my vitamins in. Um, a lot of water. I've been drinking BioLite. I've been, like I said, fresh juices and stuff. So I don't know. I need
I
to
be
get
drinking raindrops sometimes, but I just be getting so tired of filtered water.
sickening. Sickening. I
It's a little
mean,
salty, but I mean, it
oh
be tasting like the
God.
projects.
All right. My goodness.
Okay,
So we got some shop talk today. Well, I got some.
okay, you go ahead and lead the pack, and I'm you
I
know what I'm
literally was
saying?
typing in shop talk on my phone. That's insane.
When the
Um,
podcast consume you,
right. We should start a blog called Shop Talk.
go ahead, you can run it.
Mhm.
I can't take no more responsibility.
I feel you. I can't either, honestly. Um, so let's see what we got. Who on the docket today? So, for starters, um, I think this is so crazy that Michael Costello tried to call out Chrissy Teigen and it backfired on his ass.
Oh, I saw that. Oh my
Like
god.
he's getting tore up. Like every second now, more people are coming out with stories about him and his experience with black people, how racist he is, and he's trying to say that was causing him to, it was leading him to suicide. Chrissy Teigen,
And she do get on my nerves.
she's annoying. She's annoying, but this is the case once again because people are like, "Damn, I can't even believe that." It's making me look at John Legend different because how can he marry somebody so mean? But
Yeah, but I will say sometimes people really be the opposite of their partner. And the way
for
she is to be,
sure,
that could be something that is a problem in their relationship and we don't know it.
yeah, you just never know. But I will say this is a shock for me because I remember like the rise of Michael Costello, and I also remember him just fading away, and I never understood the reason why. Like I didn't know that story that he was racist. Um,
Who is he, first of all?
he's a designer. If I'm not mistaken, he was on a show. Let's see, Michael Costello. I'm about to see if I'm not.
For those who don't know the background story, basically he came out on social media yesterday, basically saying that he's been in therapy because he's had suicidal thoughts after being bullied by Chrissy Teigen. I guess was it several years ago? It seemed like it had been a long time ago.
Yeah. So he was on the 8th season of Project Runway.
Okay, I never watched a single episode. I'm really sorry.
So he was on Project Runway and then he was on Project Runway All Stars. But he's known because his dresses, I mean, he had some of everybody in his dresses. Beyonce, Rihanna, like big names, A-list celebrities in his gowns and in his clothing. Um, I always kind of looked at his stuff sideways because it really gave out Fashion Nova.
Mm.
Um, so I never was really impressed. You know, I'm always happy for people succeeding or whatever, but his designs were really, really basic, and I just never understood the hype behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if you're looking for arson, it goes to Laquan Smith. Laquan Smith, actually is way better than Mike Costello, but he was compared to his style for a minute, and then anywho, whatever, just look up both of them. But
Got it.
um,
I'm gonna need me a mailbox dress anyway.
I mean, what is that?
Dress to what to the mailbox. Sometimes it be hot, honey. My
I
legs be needing a little, little space.
All right, just don't leave out the house with a bonnet on because Monique Army gonna be after.
You know. Listen, I don't wear, but I'm not gonna get back on it, but I wear them to the airport. And I used back in the day, it used to be my hat. And what we gonna do about it?
Nothing. Anyway.
Per.
But yeah, like so now he's getting called out by artists like what's her name? Yeah,
Leona Lewis.
Lewis.
Keep breathing. Bleeding. I keep. Is that
And
her?
then also the original girl who came out before. I'm trying to find her name. Whatever. I don't. It doesn't say her name, but it just says that he called her the N-word doing exchange with with a boutique owner. I guess she's a boutique owner, and of course he denied it or whatever. But listen, when you whatever you do in the dark.
Listen, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Don't come in the light, and karma do not play. She don't got no time limit either.
Karma comes back to you hard. I was just having a thought with myself recently about people that throw stones and hide their hands. Like it's a lot of people who will like for example, he is really bold and probably super entitled to think that he's gonna call out Chrissy Teigen and not own up to any of the stuff he's done to people. But I was just talking to somebody about this today. There are people who legit don't think that the wrong they did was wrong. Like to me, if I knew I had skeletons in my closet or behaviors that I should have fixed, I wouldn't even dare, call out somebody else knowing that I have a platform big enough for it to get back to the people that I've wronged.
Yeah. Let me tell you, it's been happening a lot lately because I also came across a video of Jeffree Star in tears, honey. Apparently he's depressed. He is selling his home, which he hasn't had for a year. He has like a $16 million home. It's like a huge home. He hasn't had it for a year. He said he's selling it. He won't give in to reasons. He said he's depressed about his last relationship and his old dog's dying and all that stuff, but he's moving to Wyoming. I said, oh.
No, he already lived
there? He has a house there, but he doesn't live there. That's not his main house. His main house is in LA. So he's selling that house. Okay. And mind you, everybody and their grandma living there with him. He got his employees living there, his mama, makeup artist, if I'm not mistaken. Like all the people that he worked for live in the house with him. And he was saying that he was using that as a crutch, so he can always have people around him. But now since, he's been away in Wyoming and can breathe and just really stop faking his life. He's like,
what is he faking? The happiness or something else?
He's like, yeah, he's definitely faking happiness. He said that was the first time that he's ever been in love. He was just saying basically that was the first time he ever been in love, and it ended horribly, and it was, it was in the public, and he was trying to do things to make it seem like he was okay, and he was making it seem like just because he has money, he's happy. So he bought that home to prove a point. He was like, I didn't really need it, or like, who needs a house that big? He was just like, I just was buying a house to prove a point. People were throwing things in my face and, all this other shit. And he's just like, you know what? Honestly, I'm just gonna take control of my life and move to Wyoming and just do that.
Is all this as a result of all his stuff being aired out? Because I feel like what led to this? Like, is it just the relationship you think, or is it just him realizing
the whole video? But he kept bringing that up, the relationship and the dogs. I don't know. He has like 9 Pomeranians and 2 of them died.
Okay, there's no way that you could be ethically raising that many dogs. I'm sorry. Especially somebody as busy as him. I don't like that. Let me tell you something. Having my dog has made me realize how many trifling pet owners there are. The stuff that people tell me when they see me do stuff with my dog, like training her and stuff, I'm like, you need to be sensitive authorities for real. Your dog need to be taken away from you. I'm sick of it. Don't get me started.
Yeah. But that's crazy. I mean, it just goes to show that I mean, even though Jeffree Star isn't a fan favorite, I really appreciate things like that, because I think what we have as a community, and of course not everybody does this, but social media is very, very, very influential, especially for regular people. So everybody just automatically thinks that, once you get to a certain status and get a certain amount of money, and you're able to buy things that it's just going to automatically erase your past trauma and it's going to make you happy every day. Money doesn't buy happiness. I mean, to a certain extent, I will say that it will. But for the most part, it won't erase your past. It won't erase you really have to just do some deep soul searching and get actual help.
Yeah, like you have to be happy with yourself before money can make you happy. Like it can maybe change your circumstances and things like that, but it can also create more issues because now you have a greater responsibility.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that is important to see. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, that's the reason. I mean, I know me and him are not on the same level, but hearing him talking about like doing stuff to prove a point, that's why I had strayed away. It's been years now, but I just strayed away from sharing too much personal detail because I never want to be in a position where I'm like trying to make people think that I live a certain kind of lifestyle. Whatever they gather from me at this point is their own, whatever they, think they know. But I have been in a relationship before where I was posting a lot and I was happy at one point, but I had to keep doing it because I had to keep up that image and trying to convince myself or even that person that we should be together. And it's unnecessary. Now, as far as buying stuff, y'all know how I play with money. I don't play with it. So I won't be buying nothing to prove nobody wrong. But it's really sad to be empty like that and thinking that's something that's going to change your life when it really is a bigger burden than it should be. Now, I hope he can sell his house because it ain't but so many people in this world who can afford it. And if they even in the market to buy it. So,
yeah. I you know what's so crazy though? I let people kind of like not necessarily scare me out of, but a lot of people were kind of like trying to make me feel bad for buying clothes. Now, here's the thing with me. I've never been a person that's been into like really, really expensive clothes. But I can always say, like, even in middle school, like I used to literally take my money that my mom would give me for allowance. I would go to Greenbrier and I would go to like one of them little cheap stores, like Skills or whatever, get an outfit, and I would cut it. I wouldn't even wear it how I brought it out the store. I would literally cut it just to make it different from what I see every day. I've always
you would cut out the Bad Boys logo or the Warner
no,
Brother
I
logo.
don't know if you remember, but one time I had bought a bucket hat and cut the top out of it.
I do not remember.
It was so ugly. But at the time, I'm in my head, I'm like, I'm doing something different.
Yeah.
Like that was just me. It was, I've always been like that. So I feel like like that's my comfort. That's like something that makes me happy. That makes me feel like I'm myself. So me being on social media and just seeing all these younger artists and younger people that were my age when I was doing stuff like that, it make me feel like I'm like, damn, I probably should have just not listened to people because the shit that they doing, I was doing that years ago.
Come back. I mean, the thing is, it's just the more you know, because you can't go back and change the impression that it had on you back then or the way you were thinking.
Yeah.
But if we all could see into the future, honey, I would still have all my J's. I would definitely have my dunks. Y'all do not want to see. Listen, you know how annoyed I am with the dunk movement right now.
I can't even fix myself to buy them because of how like.
Yeah, me either. First of all, they're not even attractive to me no more. The quality is not the same. They literally was $40 back in the day. Like it's just so crazy. I'm like, wow, y'all really out here wearing dunks like they J's, like they want.
Listen, trust me, and everybody like
we had so many dunks.
And we had the exclusive ones, like the ones that were like limited edition.
Listen, it's so crazy, and nobody literally was not wearing dunks, bro. They was not. Whew. Anyway, sorry.
So now, I mean, I'm getting back into that mode of doing that. Just getting back to being creative when it comes to my clothes, and that's a big reason why I'm moving too.
That's why you bought those Rick Owens boots.
You know what's so crazy? I had 3 pair of boots, right? I had 3 pair of platform boots that I used to wear all the time. I had burgundy and I had some ones that come to my knees, and then I had some black ones, and they all broke. They all broke because they were so old. So like, I was trying to put them on, and every last one of them, the whole platform broke off of them. So I had to throw all of those away. That was like $1,500 worth.
They ain't had no warranty. I would have looked up that warranty. Sometimes they be having like a 10-year. I'm like, hey, look.
The thing is, the company's not even in business no more. Because
dang, but it wasn't Rick Owens.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, I even read somewhere that could be a form of depression too. You won't even know it. Like you just losing interest in things, not interest in that, but just like even getting up out of bed is hard, or
yeah, it is. You just don't even feel motivated when you used to be a very motivated person. It's really sad. It's like people who deal with things like depression, sometimes they can even get to a point where they feel like they are not wanted, and they could be flooded with compliments. That's why I hate when people say like when a celebrity maybe commits suicide, people are like, oh my gosh, you're so famous, you have all this money. Oh, that's the problem, because people see them for that instead of who they truly are. They're so busy, have so much going on, have so many people in their business, they can't even really be who they really are deep down inside or identify identify who they really are. It's actually really freaking sad.
Wow.
But anywho, let's move on. We getting sidetracked.
I love sidetrack. Come on, let that camera roll come up at
you. Okay, so tomorrow is the verses between Eve and Trina. I have not seen nothing around this but complaints. I ain't seen nothing from Eve. I ain't seen nothing from Trina. Are you looking forward to this versus battle? And how do you feel about the lineup?
So this is coming from somebody that grew up listening to Eve more than Trina. I honestly didn't see the correlation of why they were battling each other, because Eve did have a lot of popular songs, but then after a while she started doing like more poppy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't as gangster as it was when she first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to Trina, she's always had the same
style.
Like she kept that same energy from the moment that she came out. You know what I'm saying? Like Trina kept saying that she wanted to do a versus against Lil Kim.
That would have been more. That would make more.
I would have understood that.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because their style was very similar. It's the North versus the South. Even though Lil Kim was a more successful rapper, Trina still has hits
that sticks. She said,
"Come on."
I ain't gonna say on a podcast because
I'll say it for you. She said, "Dick sucking in the auto, but I don't get high though."
If I had the chance to be a virgin again, I'd be thinking about the time on TV.
Problematic. Okay.
Now who's okay? Look, if Trina wasn't gonna go against Eve, who would Eve have gone against? Rod Digger?
No, I wouldn't do her like that. I don't know.
I don't think everybody has a competitor in
they don't. Not everybody has like a person that could be, that they can go up against. I do look forward to seeing it though, because as I got older, I started to appreciate Trina's music more. And
telling me,
baby,
free game.
I don't even listen. I was like, you know what? I was cheating myself.
I feel like I started off listening to Eve. I swear to God, y'all, the first rap song I ever memorized was Love Is Blind on Everything I Love. The first rap song, I remember intentionally trying to learn that song, recording the song off the radio, press and play, press and pause, writing down the lyrics, press and play until I remembered it. And by the time I wrote the last bar, I would know the whole song. Hey, yo, I don't even know you when don't get me started. Y'all know they say I look like Eve now. I look like Shelly, bro. But I will say that I love Trina. But I think that I don't really know. I think they had an equal impact on me because I feel like I listened to them around the same time.
Yeah.
And but Eve definitely had a much bigger impact, more of a crossover impact. Trina, people trying to say she a local artist. I don't really know since I'm from the South too, but I would never compare her to Eve. Like I think Eve
she's not local. I would never say that Trina is local.
People definitely was saying it, and then people was like, Trina paved the way for a lot of these girls, and they was like, who besides city girls? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like her and Lil Kim had
but even like all the new girls that come out all the way down to Cardi and even with Nicki Minaj, they all said it.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. And I mean,
like I remember one of the first Nicki Minaj songs that I've ever heard. It was called Two Sticks in My Bun. She said, I wish I had a booty like Trina.
I think that people confuse influence, like, okay, for example, somebody can be the first to do it and still pave the way without that person literally being the influence. Like somebody could be similar to Trina and Trina might not have influenced their career. They could legit be who they are, but Trina still paved the way. She still laid the groundwork for us to even accept this kind of music. Yeah, Trina was she was like 17 on that.
Yeah, and she was from the South. We didn't have that. That's the reason why I put so much emphasis on artists from the South, because every time, like for so long up north in New York, they really ran hip hop, especially with females. Like if you notice, pretty much every mainstream female artist before people like Megan Thee Stallion and Trina, it was Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, Foxy Brown, Remy Ma. All these people are from New York.
Mia X, Lil Chat.
But they wasn't like up there with them.
Diamond Princess.
They weren't
Rashida.
Up there. Oh, hell no.
Monica
ain't no hip hop artist.
I'm talking about hip hop. And smack your chick.
So Trina was our girl because she had to hold it down for real.
No, she did. She definitely did. She was with all them dudes.
Exactly. So I would never.
I think people just forget the impact because we passed that era. They like to forget the feeling that it gave when she said, okay, I'll ride, shut up.
And then the DJ play, I got an ass so big like the sun, and everybody started going up.
Now, I will say, this is no shade. I've never heard that outside of gay clubs. So I don't know what the impact expands to. I'm not trying to be funny. It's just like that
Maybe
Kane
Miami
Wayne song.
Clubs or something. But
okay, Miami. I never
heard that outside of gay clubs, though.
I'm sorry. No, that's just for my personal experience. That's why I had to make that disclaimer. I ain't trying to be funny.
I used to think that, no, girl, whatever. No, I used to feel like that about Kaya because I thought that Kaya songs only was played in gay clubs like Kane Wayne.
I definitely only heard that in gay songs too.
No, I heard that in like ghetto clubs, like the K Wayne. It was like older people in there, but
you probably was at Chit Chat, and that's a whole different crowd.
I've only been in Chit Chat once, and guess what? I was on there for 10 minutes. Could have handled it.
Yeah, it's a lot. I never went, but I definitely watched it when it was live on TV. They still air it on TV, like the actual club.
I couldn't handle it. They had tried to revamp it and reopen it, and they had. Okay, so for me, even though I'm gay, I don't like male strippers like that. So,
me either. I don't either, and I'm not obviously I'm not gay. It's not attractive to me at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
Please sit down. Put your pants on, little boy.
And they had like 16 male strippers.
Oh God,
walking around the club, and they were so skinny and little. Like it was just, I was just like, you know what? I'm getting out of here. This ain't for me.
Got a blast. Okay, so I'm gonna be tuning into the verses if I can. I don't know. I got a lot going on this week. But if I can, I'm gonna tune in. All I want to hear is "Love Is Blind" and "The Baddest." Who's bad? Okay.
I'm messing with all the Trina songs and Eve actually, but for sure Trina. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. Do we have anything else for Shop Talk?
That's it for me. I don't really have too much else.
Oh, I wanted to talk about how Atlanta made it to the Shade Room today. Listen, y'all, this could be tweets from the streets too, because I really get all my Atlanta crime news from Twitter. The header says 2 15-year-olds accused of shooting security guard outside of Apple Store in Atlanta's Lenox Square Mall. Did you see that?
Yeah.
First of all, I can't watch traumatizing videos like that, but I definitely saw how young they were, and they shot that security guard in the chest. And thank you, Jesus, that he's not dead. But it's like this crime in Atlanta, y'all. It's so bad. Like it's no separation. And then this don't have nothing to do with race or nothing like that. But I'm saying there is no separation of the hood and not the hood, because I don't really know how else to explain it. Typically. These kind of crimes we hear, they tend to be associated with the hood. So, there was a point where you can go to Buckhead, Midtown, or outside of the inner city, I guess you could say. And I mean, dang, technically, I want to say that's okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there were parts of town that you could go to escape maybe that kind of vibe. Like it was like you could be out late, you ain't got to worry about somebody running up on you. There was crime, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't as common as it is now. Like for example, today I went to Cumberland Mall to pick up an online order from Bath and Body Works because they have this in my annual sale. I went up there at about 11:45, 12 o'clock.
The candles on sale.
Yeah, it's probably I don't know how long. It's probably for next week and a half. But you can do it online and pick up in store, which I prefer because they be charging $10 for shipping. I'm like, that's another candle. But yes, I went to the mall about 11:45, 12 o'clock. The mall opened at 11. I get home and I see a post that there was a fight at the mall 2 hours ago. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, either this happened right before I got there or right after I left. And it's so crazy because it happened in the food court. And I was in the food court because I had to go to the post office. And I'm just like annoyed with this kind of stuff because it's like, why is this happening? Why? It's always young people, and it's always been young people, but it's just so, I mean, not to say that only young people commit these crimes, but in most cases I've seen, it's always young people involved. But it's just like, why are they what is it because of quarantine? Did it make an impact on people's brain or their patience or their anger? Like, what is it? I'm so sick of it. Like,
I think it's the Casamigos.
But these are young. The people at Lennox was 15 years old. You think
you think their perks got an age limit?
Listen, I don't know, but it just makes me very anxious. Like, I'm already really traumatized from getting robbed back in '08, and stuff like that makes me really conscious when I'm going anywhere. Like, I even when I went to pick up my stuff in the mall, I parked at a specific location. I was in and out because I just felt so antsy just being in there because, especially when you get deeper and deeper into the mall, it's only so many different directions you can go. And I genuinely be like frightened. I be worried about something going off. And I get home and I see this happen. I'm just like I literally don't want to go nowhere. Like, it's to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna just buy me a nice big old house in the outskirts. Like, I just need, I don't like the feeling it gives me, and I don't like being uncomfortable in my own neighborhood. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Then it was another news article talking about somebody stole an ambulance from Grady Hospital.
I love ambulance. Yeah. Not only that,
people getting shot on the highway.
Big Bear, the cashier clerk at Big Bear, got shot in the head and died because she asked somebody to put a mask on.
Like why is it that serious? Why do people have so much pride that they got to take somebody's life because they're unhappy? Just leave. If you don't want to wear a mask,
this is my theory on it, and I don't want nobody to get offended, but I don't care. I think that the people from Florida is migrating up here. Remember all that crazy shit was happening in Florida, the bath salts and all that? I think they moved up here.
I don't know what it is. I did read that when my cousin said that she read that the fight at Cumberland was people that wasn't from Atlanta. But let me tell you how they do. There's the person to be from Forest Park, and they'll say they're not from Atlanta just to make Atlanta look better. So who even knows where they from? I just feel like it's just too much. It's too much. It is just murder alone is up 60%, and it's just June. Like, that's just, I don't know. It's just
yeah. No, I've noticed that. That's why I try to stay off those like local blog pages, just because they do post more of that.
Oh, I did not even be on ATL Scoop no more. That's in the past. I can't even.
Yeah, I don't even be on those pages like that no more because it just make me feel unsafe. It's just like I can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even with the situation that happened in my car at the airport, I'm just like really just like, damn, you really are not safe nowhere.
Nowhere.
It's like I last night, let me tell you something. I did something so dumb, but I walked to Publix and my phone was at home on the charger because it was dead. I should never.
Oh my God. Not at all. And then be them times
I just really needed to go to the store. It was about to close and my phone was dead. So there's no point in me carrying my phone if it was dead.
Yeah, get a portable charger so you can just put it in your pocket while it charges.
I don't have to buy a Mophie or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, just be careful. I mean, and it be stuff going on over there too. It's just be too much. It's like people just be looking for a target and they don't care who you are, what you might have on you. They just doing whatever they feel like they got to do, man. It's like I watched this video of somebody doing a smash and grab at the gas station. It's like, I don't even really want, like, okay, on one hand, like, why y'all leaving y'all cars unlocked? Why are y'all leaving y'all belongings in the car? But people make rash decisions. Like you just said, you walk to the store without your phone. Now, if something would have happened, people would have been like, why would you leave the house without your phone? Or why would you be on that side of town walking to the store? Stuff like that. Like sometimes people do slip up, whatever case, but you just got to be careful, man, because you never want to be in a situation where you like, dang, I usually always lock my car door, but the day I locked it, I lost my money that I was gonna pay my month of rent, and I ain't got no more money. I lost my job. Just situations that could just really be way worse than they have to be. I hate that I be so conscious with everything. I lock my door 200,000 times when I'm in it. As soon as I get in it, as soon as I step out, I lock my door. I lock everything. Like I don't even carry nothing crazy on me. I carry a small bag if I can help it. I keep minimal stuff. I don't want nothing flash. Like I just hate because you can be attentive and everything. People still run up on the side of you. It's just a lot. I can't. It really like I got my hairs is raised on my arm. Like it's just too much. I'm just sick of it. I'm ready. I don't even want to be ran out of my city, but I can't live like this. I don't like how it makes me feel.
I damn sure don't. I ain't gonna lie.
But
I damn sure do not. But we're gonna move on. We ain't gonna keep it all solemn on here. But we just have to let y'all know how we feel and what's going on in our city. Because I think that's how people looking in like something wrong with y'all. But
right, because it is. Okay, so I wanted to talk about something today that I felt will be an interesting perspective from me and Draco. Okay, so first I wanted to start the conversation off by talking about people that have tried to holler at you and you feel that they are out of your league, or maybe you wanted to holler at somebody else and you felt like you were out of their league. So my first question to you is, have you ever wanted to talk to somebody and felt they were out of your league, or more so like you were intimidated because of that, because of what they might view you as?
Yeah, plenty of times. Let me tell you something. There's been plenty of times where, of course, I feel like, because the thing is, I look deeper than looks. Like, of course, you may be physically attracted to somebody, but I think what really makes me be just feel like, oh, okay, I think I want to talk to that person. It's just me being around them and just seeing their like interactions with people, the way they talk, the way they think, just in the first 5 minutes. I mean, you can kind of pick up on these things real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, like a lot of times, I feel like for me, um, I'm from the hood, and I feel like people can pick that shit up in 30 seconds of talking to me. I don't mind that. I don't
Yeah.
mind that. You know what I'm saying? Because at first, I used to be really embarrassed by it because I hung out with a lot of people that weren't from Atlanta, and they were from the suburbs, or even if they were from the city, they'll be from out the perimeter. So they
Mm-hmm.
grew up a little different. They grew up with big houses, parents that speak clearly, proper English. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
sometimes I don't feel comfortable talking around people like that because I know that I don't give that. And the funny part about it is, I think that just because I don't speak that way, people don't think that I can't well, in my head, I feel like people probably think that I can't comprehend it.
Ain't that's
I'm
crazy.
like,
They think you're not smart because you got an accent.
yeah. So that's always an issue for me sometimes, or it was an issue before. So I'll be like, I would definitely feel like I'm out your league. Like, you dressed real preppy. Both of your parents are in your life, and they take care of you. They buy you cars and stuff, and you talk very proper. And the thing is, I've actually had an ex that did me like that. I think that's probably where my insecurity comes from, because he definitely had parents who had money, and they lived in uh, a nice part of town, and he would just look down on me and my friends and like some of the stuff that we did. You
Why
know,
did he get with you if he was gonna act like that?
I never understood that. I never understood it, and
That's
like,
crazy.
even to this day, he would always tell me how much of a good person I am, and when we were together and stuff. But when we were together, he used to make me feel like I was just a fucking dirty hood rat, and I'm like, I'm not even. I don't even give that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I may talk different from you, but other than that, like, my life is, if anything, I probably had more shit than you did.
That's so crazy. But you know what? People treat foreigners the same way. Like if somebody's from, especially like if somebody's Hispanic or Mexican, like they automatically assume they're not smart because they have an accent, or they don't say, or not even just, I mean, just a language barrier in general. So they'll try to take advantage of them or talk to them like they crazy. But it's so insane. It's like, but you don't even know Spanish.
Yeah,
So, so if they would have spoken to you in your
they
language, you
already
would
got
be
one up on you because they bilingual.
it, period, exactly. But it's such a shame. And I've seen that working in retail and stuff like that. And it's like you don't even know them. You literally don't even know this person. But because you hear the way they speak, or you have this preconceived notion of how people like them are, you try to assume they're not smart. But I've definitely had that issue a lot of times. I feel like I do speak a lot clearer now than I used to back in my younger days. But when I used to talk like my 100% hood rat, and I look, that ain't no shade to myself. I'm just saying, like, whatever it was classified as. People definitely used to be like, "Oh." The first time I said a word in my mouth, like, oh, okay. Then I start asking real like country, like I can't say contradictory questions, like very like I can't think of the word. Start with a C. But they would just try to start. That's in that moment is how they choose how they're gonna treat you going forward, just off of that. And then you start revealing personal stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, oh, what's that TikTok? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It's just
Yeah.
insane that people treat it that people are that way. But I will say that in dating, I have definitely thought that dudes were out of my league, but only because I felt like they were into stuff that I wasn't into. Like I automatically assumed that they wouldn't talk to me because I did not do certain things like party, drink, smoke, and stuff like that. Because when I would have conversations with people and I would mention that, they would kind of classify me as like boring or stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so I would stay away from dudes that I knew, even if they were really attractive and I like how they dress. But if I knew that they like to party and go out and stuff like that, I wouldn't even bother trying to shoot my shot because I felt like automatically they was gonna be like, nah, you ain't, what's up with you, granny?
And you know what's crazy? That's not true. And even just dealing with friendships, I have plenty of friends that don't drink or smoke and never have before. in their life.
Yeah, I believe it. I
You
know
know what I'm
people.
saying? So, and they'll judge me for me doing it, but I mean, I'll be like, I wish I could be like that because shit, you pure as hell. Your love is everything.
And look, then when they find cuss, they be like, okay, I'm scared. Then people be apologizing for cussing around me. They just start acting weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Because the thing is, usually most of the time, I think that's just ignorance. But most of the time, like when you come in contact with people who don't curse, they're usually very, very, very religious. So you
Yeah,
kind of
true.
feel very like um you like I don't want you kind of walking on eggshells. Like
I
you
don't know
don't want
what
to say
for.
the wrong thing. Like you don't want to make nobody feel uncomfortable. And I feel like for me too, I feel like that's kind of disrespectful because um some people do it intentionally just to kind of piss you off. Like if you say that, oh, I don't like this type of things or I'm not into this type of thing, some people may do that shit just because they want to make you feel uncomfortable purposely, just
All
because
right,
you know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying.
Yeah,
So
because
that's another reason why like most people will try to like they don't want to feel like they're disrespecting you. You know what I'm saying?
I can appreciate that.
I can because I definitely feel like that because I hate when I express that I don't like something and then people do it intentionally just to see my reaction.
But it's crazy
Or
because if you
to be
don't
an
like it,
asshole.
it's like when I first started sharing that I don't eat certain meats, and they be like, "Oh, these wings so good," and it do not fade. Like, okay, what am I supposed to like for real?
Enjoy
For real,
it.
all jokes aside, I do not crave chicken. So you eating chicken like that and talking about how good it is does not do anything for me. Doesn't do nothing for me or against me. So if it's good, then keep eating it, enjoy it. But I'm not gonna be like, let me get one. No, I don't. I've made up in my mind that I'm not even interested in tasting that mess, that flesh with the blood and stuff.
Nah, I feel you. Once you made your mind up and once you made your mind up that you're not into something or you don't like something, and I think that when you have people around you who or people in general who do stuff like that, I feel like they do not give a fuck. Like if I'm expressing to you that I don't eat chicken and I don't eat beef, or I don't eat meat or whatever, I would really expect you to respect that. I don't expect you to do the same thing. I
Yeah,
don't.
just
I don't.
like just accept it and move on. Like I don't. That don't mean you
Yeah.
can't eat that around me.
Keep
That
it
don't
in
mean
mind. Keep it in mind. Like I feel like it's very. I don't know. I just be finding it just disrespectful. Like people be like, "Cause I'm eating meat." I'm like, I never said you couldn't.
right. Who can eat it? I don't eat. I don't eat grass. Do I go tell the cows not to eat grass? Okay,
That's
maybe that was a poor
insane.
analogy.
So sorry to change subject. I'm gonna change it for like 10 seconds. Um, some magazines and like some other like really popular accounts gotten a hold of my Instagram or my pictures and stuff that I be posting of my clients and they be tagging me and now it be some weird ass DMs coming from people, just random people like telling me, "Hey, I want to shoot this girl. Could you tell her? Can you tell her?"
Yeah, that's crazy. They think that you finna just bless them like that when you don't even know them.
Yeah, I a Nicki Minaj fan page follow me and they're like the number one Nicki Minaj fan page. And I really want them to unfollow me.
You can remove them from your following list.
I sure can. I don't want no smoke though. They just follow me. I don't want
Well,
to.
they're gonna have smoke if they unfollow you themselves. So just be
I'm
the
gonna just mute
smoker.
that post or hide my story from them, cause I be posting other stuff. I post a lot. I like female rappers. I like them more than male rappers. So I post a lot of them.
They're gonna be like, you
I,
gotta
don't want
pick
no
a
smoke.
side, boy.
I never picked the side to begin with. So
Oop. Okay, so let's go to 10 seconds. Okay, cool.
sorry.
Now, when it comes to people that you feel are out of your league, I feel like when I was in the dating field, I felt like every dude that tried to holler at me, I was out of their league. I'm just like, sometimes I would be like, why do you think that I would give you the time of day? Why? And it's not even to be cocky, but I always base my potential partners on like how like what they got going for themselves and like how they keep themselves up and stuff like that. And there would be dudes who we went to school with who was like wearing packed white tees and did like literally be on the block, like be on the block. And by block, I don't even mean trapping. They just be on the corner of Campbellton and Fairburn.
Underground niggas, 5 Point niggas. Remember them?
Yeah, them the type. Yes, them the type. And then if you reject them or if you don't respond to them, now you getting called out. It's like, why did you think Think about every girl you ever been with, and then put me in the lineup. No shade. This ain't me kicking like I'm Beyonce or something like that. But you couldn't have possibly thought that I was gonna give you the time of day and then be serious.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that, and for me personally, when it comes to stuff like that, I don't think nothing is wrong with that, because for the longest, I tried to be humble because I knew that I always wasn't this person. I knew I always didn't have it the way I did, and I had people choosing me at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in my in that horrible time, and not to say that I have to like babysit and be pacified or pacify other people and just be there during those times, but also you got to know what type of person you are and what you can tolerate. And also you kind of gotta, and I don't expect people to be my equal when I'm going into a situation with them, but the least that I ask is that you can hold it on your own. Hold your
exactly.
own. I'm 32.
These be a lot of people that need me to hold them. They own my own
I
on
don't
the
got that type of time. Like
exactly.
I work when I'm
Exactly.
not working, I'm resting. Like I have to, I do a lot. I definitely take a lot. I take my mental health really seriously these days. Like I definitely was a workaholic. I still am, but I'm kind of trying to work myself out of that and just create like off days for myself just so I can have time to rest and get my mind right. Because I will say I've been resting these last 2 or 3 days and my mood is totally different from last week. Last week I was stressed out. This week I'm outside. What's up?
Period.
So,
With the vaccine.
with the vaccine. So, whatever, but I just feel like at least be able to hold your own. That's all I ask for. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the person that's always footing the bill when we go on a date. I don't want to be the person.
Can't do stuff because of finances. And money ain't everything, but it's a lot of things.
Yeah. No, I mean, because it's important. I feel like at our age, like now, I'm like, all right, if you ain't got nothing going on for real, I really can't do nothing for you. Like, even if you're not trying, you don't have to have it 100% together because people do career changes in their mid 30s, early 40s.
But guess what? If you're doing a career change in your mid 30s and you already had your stuff together, then you probably are switching to an area that's also more stable. So,
yeah. So I'm not saying that. It's just the simple fact that, you can't have went through your whole 20s floating and just looking at the wall.
but it's
Like,
a lot of people did. And a lot of people are just now hitting 30 and realizing like they wasted a lot of time playing.
I don't really have time to deal with people like that. And I'm so sorry if that sounds shallow, but
No, it's not shallow at all. Think about like you don't have children. You're not teaching nobody how to be an adult. And I always say, like, to me, discipline is attractive. So if I'm disciplined in a lot of areas, of course I'm gonna want a man that's also disciplined in areas because it shows me how he makes decisions in other areas of his life.
period.
And I mean it. But
I
yeah, no,
love that.
it's a lot more people that need to get their life together than there are people that don't. And it's a lot of people and I think women can get away with it because a lot of men don't really care about what women got going for themselves.
Agreed. Especially if you're dealing with men who are like entertainers or power players.
Yeah, because they want to be the provider. They want to be the one that's, putting you on. And even some regular folks, like some people, there are men who want a housewife. They don't want some, like, that could be a control thing. Don't get me wrong, but there are people.
I was about to say that. That was about to be my next.
But I'm just saying, like, because you got your own business, you got all that other stuff, it doesn't make you more qualified because it's just all about what somebody else wants. I also want to say, even though I made statements saying like, I don't know why these dudes would have ever thought that they would have a chance with me. I also think that to even have the balls to go, like, technically, someone being out of your league is kind of false because I'm sure we could both sit here and think about people that's in relationships. You'd be like, now, how in the world did they end up together? I think it's a lot of factors that are involved with that. Sometimes people don't know who they're worth.
Yeah.
So they'll go with whoever coming their way, even if it's not the best thing, because they don't want to be alone. Sometimes people they value other things than other folks. Sometimes people really do see the vision. Like for me, as a person I need somebody who has a type of lifestyle that they can retire from. Like they don't have to do it until they're 99. But there are some people who just care about somebody making it happen today and then tomorrow and then address the day after that and after that and after that. Anyway, what I'm getting at is basically I think that to even be having the balls to holler at somebody, whether they're in your league or not, you just have to be confident. A lot of people be having big ball confidence. Like they don't, and it be the ones who you think shouldn't be confident.
Yeah.
I know that might sound crazy, but it's just because you have your own perception of what good quality is. And there are some people who don't have great quality. They don't have the know-how to kind of like self-assess themselves or do a self-audit to realize like you probably should, like they're like, and I'm not here to like cape for Kevin Samuels, but a lot of stuff he preaches on his show is like, you need to have this together and this together and this together. And these people, it be news to them. It's like, oh, I need to move out my mama's house.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but but then they wondering why they can't get the type of person that they're aiming against. Anyway, all I'm just saying is having confidence is really what all it takes. So while I have standards and preferences, I can't even be mad necessarily if somebody holler at me, even though I think they're out of my league, because they obviously felt like they had what it took to get my attention.
So kind of going back to what you said, I want to actually dig deeper in this about the getting out your mama house.
There are layers to that. It ain't
okay. All right, because I was about to get into it. I only said that because I think we had this conversation before a long time ago, just about how people like, is it that imperative to get out of your parents' houses as a young adult, especially now if you're not going to school, if you're working in a work field or whatever, and you're not in school at the moment. I honestly think that you can get your own place, because I think when I think of staying in your parents' houses after you graduate high school, that's time to go to school, try to find a job in your career when you come home, or if you want to go back to school or whatever. I think that time is used for that, not necessarily just because you just don't want to move out on your own. If you got a job and you working, I feel like, you gotta move out on your own.
Yeah, it's like a part of it's like a natural thought process. So I would say this: there are circumstances where people have to stay with their parents. Like I know somebody who stayed with their parents through high school. I mean, first of all, moving out fresh out of high school, I don't think that's realistic. Like you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know who you are. You barely know how to spell your middle name. But I think that when you go, if you go the collegiate route, let's say you go to college, it's not, number one, it's not abnormal to wanna it's not abnormal to graduate and move back with your parents, but a lot of students who stay off campus, they've gotten that taste of independence. So it's natural for them to probably want to move out, like not go back to their parents' house and continue to be independent. But what I'm trying to get to is that sometimes people stay with their parents to save for a house. Sometimes parents have a huge house, or they provide a lifestyle that allows them to prioritize other things in their life and is not necessarily a roof over their head. To me, for most people that I know and myself, I lived, and a lot of them live in situations where they don't have enough space to continue to grow as who they are. So I can't speak from a place of somebody who live in a house with 6-7 bedrooms, upstairs, downstairs, in-law suite, and all this other stuff. I can see why those people would stay with their parents, but a lot of people are in a very tight space. And to me, that's not attractive nor comfortable to be dating somebody living like that. So to me, it's unattractive. And I think that now, but if you are in that situation, in the rare case, I think that everything else that you got going on, to me, needs to be, set in stone. You got a decent job, you working towards that decent job, you got your car and stuff taken care. Like, you're not really relying on your parents. You just live under their roof. So that's really, to me, is where it comes from. Like, you still can have an independent mindset. You're not independent, but you are in a position where you're taking care of yourself. And if you wanted to move out today or tomorrow, you could, and it wouldn't be no issue. Because there's people who stay with their parents and do not be having no money and don't have no for real bills. So that's to me is unattractive, because to me, especially at 32 years old, now if you're 30, don't get me started. It's hard for me to imagine somebody wanting to stay with their parents, especially if they're able to move out. That's really what it is.
Yeah. Unless they don't want to spend their own money, but yeah.
And they might not want to, but what if you're not want to spend your own money? Are you saving it? Like, what are you spending it on? All right. So now that you are back in the dating field, are you changing how you fish for people, or how are you looking at it? And can you really change your, like, can you really be more open to who you picking if you're not, like, what if you really just not attracted to certain stuff? Like, what do you do?
No, that is true. I don't know. Like, I won't say that I've changed. I'm changing. If anything, I'm changing for myself.
Okay.
Because I can, admit that maybe sometimes I am the problem. You know what I'm saying? Just because for one, I'm being too critical on myself and the other person. And me being too critical on myself can kind of come off as me being insecure. So I just need to just maybe just relax. Like, I mean,
insecurities are normal, so don't get on yourself about that.
No, and I agree, but also it can be kind of unattractive when you first meeting somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, okay, are you comfortable with yourself? You know
really?
what I'm saying?
What you be saying if you don't mind sharing? If you don't want to share,
It's not nothing like physical, but like I always be just I don't know. I just really feel like I should just be more vulnerable. I ain't gonna get into detail about what I.
Okay, yeah, I got to.
But I'm gonna be, I don't know. I just should be more vulnerable and for one, just stop forcing the fact that I'm independent, even though I am. I don't necessarily throw that in people's faces, but it's so hard because I'm so used to people. I think that just because of my personal experience, I'm used to just people, family, friends, making me feel small because I wasn't able to do things for myself. So coming into a situation, especially with men or just people, dating, I make that known up front. I'm like, you know what? I have my own this. I don't need you for nothing. If I need it, I'll buy myself. All I want is.
Oh no, I need you to buy me stuff.
But I make that. But I don't want it to make it seem like whatever. But I think that I have to kind of fall back on using my independence as like that, something to just bring up and let's.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that.
And then
you want it to be a flex, but you also don't want it to be like unattractive because sometimes people feel like, well, what you need me for?
Yeah. And then I also want to be open-minded to letting people help me and let people do things for me. Because I think that is something that really bothers people too. Like, I got this. I can do it myself. I got it. I don't need it. I say that a lot.
That's me, and I'm not changing. So I'm gonna stick beside it. So I don't like to wait on folks. If I know I can do something right now, whether I fail at it or not, I gotta make sure. I gotta try it.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand that portion of it, but I don't know. It's some things that I just want to change about myself and that I am. I'm still not gonna stop dating, but I also have to stop giving up so easily. Because that's another thing. Like, I'll be quick to just turn my back on somebody when I feel like they've done or they do something I don't like, and not necessarily like rob a bank, cuss me out, or something like that. It's just like it could
little
be something
stuff.
small.
I was that way.
It could be something small. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, sometimes you do need context. Sometimes stuff really isn't what it appears to be, and sometimes maybe people just have to learn. You got to give people a chance to like recover. But I'm the same way. I'd be like, are those Sperry's? Block. I stopped talking to this dude because he wore these golf Nikes. And he was a nice guy. Now he married. And that don't mean
were y'all going to Top Golf?
No, we wasn't. Went to a freaking haunted house. And him being married don't mean nothing to me because he wasn't my type in general. But I didn't even give him the chance to explore that because of his shoes. I'm like, no. And then I went on his Instagram and he had on those shoes in most pictures. And I didn't. I'm sorry. I can't fake that. I've actually talked to somebody who I tried to make myself like because he was a nice guy, and I had zero feelings for him, and I just had to cut him off. I mean, I didn't ghost him. I told him the truth. I was like, I'm not attracted to you. I don't really like you like that. I'm not trying to be funny, and that was it.
Also, I think something that I like doing is I like to go after regular guys, and when I say regular, I mean not into a lot of materialistic things.
Mm-hmm.
They're most of the time very outgoing. Like I learn a lot from people like that because they introduce me to new things that I haven't tried instead of tackling the same four corners. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, I just get tired of Atlanta shit because it's the same things to do all the time, even though it's way more things to do. But realistically, I just don't like to do a lot of things alone. I mean, I would do them, but I have more fun if I'm with somebody to have fun with.
Yeah,
I think that when I meet those type of people, I genuinely have more fun. But the problem is when they see me and they come around, they assume that I'm a materialistic person just because of the type of things that I have.
Yeah, but I
And
think
I'm
that can
like,
be come from an insecurity of them because they don't think that they can attain those things. So they see you with it and they like, oh, he gonna be wanting me to get him Bottega earrings and Cuban link.
no, and that's not the case. You can literally get me like a $20 t-shirt with a meaningful thought to, something behind it, and I will be excited about that. I'm
That's
not.
why it's unfortunate that that's a problem with social media dating too. You see somebody on Instagram and then you don't even know them.
Yeah,
And you see those pictures and now you've kind of you miss yourself out. I get it. It's just all it's human nature though, honestly. Like you know what you like. And so when you have a snippet of somebody that doesn't align with what you like, then you can't force it. If you don't feel it, I mean you can give it a chance anyway, but 9 times out of 10, you already have made up in your mind that that's what you see is what it is.
that's why I don't
Period.
give people my social media. If they don't know me from social media, I don't even tell them my Instagram until later on down. I put emphasis on my real name, baby. I don't.
You know what? That's good because that's actually smart in your case
Yeah,
because
I'll be like, they were like, "What's your name, Christopher?" Yeah, that's my name.
yeah, that's actually really good. Yeah,
Baby, the
that's
moment you say Draco and they go to Insta, they be in their head, they be like, that sound like some Instagram shit. Let me put this on Instagram and see. And boom.
yeah.
My,
Dang, you right. And they start fishing through stuff and all that.
yeah.
Dang, that is actually really smart that you
Yeah.
got two identities.
Yeah. People think I have an identity crisis. I don't.
But is your phone number attached to your Instagram? Because if it is, they can just search that.
Nope. Charlie.
Well,
my email address is, but not my phone number.
yeah, well, I don't post nothing besides experiences anyway. So if you can't fly me out,
Speaking of
then
experiences, when are you trying to take this break? I know you said that you might still go to Korea, but I don't want you to go no more because you have put this idea of Aruba in my head.
well, no, I'm gonna do both. First of all, but no, yeah, I'm supposed to be going to Korea later this year, y'all. But they're basically requiring tourists to quarantine for 14 days, and I'm not doing that. So that means I'm probably not going to Korea. I'm still gonna plan the trip and book the hotel and all that, but and then I'm gonna get one more free cancellation just in case. But yeah, if that don't happen, I still need to go somewhere because I just need a trip. I haven't really been anywhere. Where did I fly to? I went to Cincinnati. And then my last trip before that was to a darn interview in California. So like I really haven't been like I've done things, but there's something therapeutic about taking trips. I still want to take a solo trip. But yeah, anyway, I want to go to Aruba. I just want because I know Aruba is a place where it's not a whole lot going on. So I can truly just rest. And that's what I need. I just want to sit by the ocean and just listen to the
What's so funny when you text me that? I literally was looking up the Sandals Resort because when you tweeted and said you need a solo trip, I said honestly I can do the Sandals Resort by myself. I was like I could just go
Is
there.
that in Aruba?
No, they have the Caribbean one, the Caribbean, but I think they only have it in the Virgin Islands, Barbados, and
Oh, I'll go to Barbados.
it was one more. But I know they have it in like the Maldives. That's the most popular one.
Oh,
But
it's so far though. I would love to go to
hell
Maldives.
finna fly there?
Right. Well, you flew to Dubai, child. You can do Maldives.
Listen. I'm not never doing that again unless I can afford to upgrade to first class.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely only doing Delta One.
Yeah, I'm not doing nothing else.
That's got to be uncomfortable.
Woo! Listen, and they use the big plane, so it'd be like the plane where it's like 5 seats in the middle, 3 on this side, 3
like them cross country planes, but bigger. Yeah, no, I feel you. I want to go to Kenya real bad. That's like a 17, 18-hour flight. I gotta do it, but I just need to have a nice. I saw a flight to Kenya that had like a 9-hour layover in Paris. I might do that one because I can knock Paris off my list and then go back to the airport and then sleep on the rest of my flight. Anyway, but yeah, no, let's talk about it for real. Now, if you want to go along, I respect it because I don't mind a solo trip.
No, I definitely would want to go. I want to see the reason why I want to go along is different. Well, I guess it's kind of the same, but whenever we go on trips together, we don't have issues.
Right, because we're normal.
So I don't have no problem with going on no trip with you, but you know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's
I'm gonna just keep it cute.
Let's plan this Aruba thing for real. I genuinely want to go. I'll hop on a plane tomorrow if I can. So let's look at some dates and I will put the time off request in this week. I swear to God on everything I love.
Okay. Sure will.
Okay, cool. Well, that wraps up this week's episode, y'all. If when it comes to dating, be open-minded, but don't sell yourself short, but also don't judge folks, but also don't let nobody get too close to you.
You know what? That made absolutely no sense at all, but I respect it.
I want everybody to be happy, but I don't want people to feel like because their luck has been so poor with finding people, they mean they gotta, there's such thing as being unrealistic, but there's also such thing as being unfair. So, all right, y'all. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.